Welcome back to Stay Heavy TV, and obviously we're still here at Bloodstock with the awesome tarot, like tarot cards, with Marco. Marco, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. A little bit buzzed, but it's Bloodstock.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be a little bit buzzed at the festivals.
I know. I've never been on a festival like this before. You play in a lot of festivals. How do you think Bloodstock compares to a lot of the different festivals that you've been on?
The good thing here is that everybody's here for one thing, and that's heavy metal. So it's there's a certain unity in the crowd, in the bands, and all that, because it's not a mainstream thing. I mean, with, for instance, Nightwish, I've done quite a lot of mainstream festivals, and you always get a pick of the crowd, but in here everybody still listens to this thing. That's of course nice.
And I gotta ask you something. Like, I have the new album. It's got a credit card instead of a tarot card. Is that because of tarot cards, or was it like going to be some kind of a lawsuit or some really crazy thing going on?
Yeah, well, this is the thing that is the album you're talking about is Spell of Iron MMXI, and it's actually a re-recording of our first one from 25 years back. And if you've been playing in a band and doing music for 25 years, you should probably have $1 million going into your account and all that. We don't. So in a slight self-irony, we thought that we might put there like a Black American Express card, which you get if you get $1 million.
Oh, really?
Well, we don't.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's $1 million for a Black MX card?
Yeah, or at least that's what I heard. But then we thought that since we don't have the millions in our account, it might not be a smart move to put the Black Amex on the album cover, because their lawyers might call us, and since we don't have $1 million, we don't want them to call us. So we changed the credit card into something that looks a little bit more personal and is something more like from the band itself.
I had no idea. So on that note, so what is the newest album you guys have? Because you said you had 2 different albums that you're touring on right now.
Yeah, the newest one is Spell of Iron and MMXI, so the re-recording of the first one. But it's like a year and a few months since we got out Gravity of Light, which was totally new. So we're kind of doing pretty much both at the time.
And at the time, like when you guys had Purgatory with Zachary, why did they make you change it to tarot? Was it because it was easier for you, or like was it the record label? What was that all about?
Record label asked us to change into something a little bit more easier for people to say and understand. Well, these days, of course, well, you're better off with a band name that nobody can even read. But
I know. But like a one name too, not like 3 or 4 words.
But at the time, in 1985 or something, when we got our first deal, they wanted us to change into something more comprehensible. And I guess it was just one of those evenings we were having some coffee or beer and sitting around with the band, and probably my brother said, "How about tarot? Yeah, that's got nice mystical connections with the cards and everything. Fits a metal band. We'll do that."
Now, what are your thoughts? I mean, you guys have obviously been around for a long time. What are your thoughts on where the music business is these days, or like where it's going?
Well, the one thing that is constant has been ever with the music business, that business always sucks. And the business deals and all that's they're totally a different world, which I don't really understand anything. I'd rather they sent me to Mars than put me in some table to read contracts or anything. But yeah, of course, there's been changes in the business as well. Record sales are going down, downloading is building up, and luckily some of the downloading is even legal, and the guys who make the music get paid. But, well, have to see, there are a lot more bands, a lot more musicians, competition is harder. You got to be able to make some kind of a difference in order to get an audience and in order to get fans. So, I think we've been pretty lucky so far.
Yeah. That's good. And where do you guys see yourselves in like another 2 or 3 years from now?
Hopefully Mars.
Hopefully Mars. I like that. That's like the best answer. Hopefully Mars. So you don't. And what are your thoughts on Eurovision?
Eurovision.
Like, okay, you know how they've had token metal bands, like in Melody Grand Prix in Norway, they've had 2 bands, they both lost, obviously. What are your thoughts on Eurovision in general? Like Lordi did it.
Yeah, like Lordi did it. I think that
Where did their career go anyway?
Don't ask me the year. A few years back. Yeah, well, like the Lordi did it. I think that was a statement for rock and roll. in like Europe-wide at the time, because well, the people were actually voting for this band to win, and with a rock and roll song and a hard rock song. So yeah, that was a great thing. But otherwise, I think it's a stale institution that's still staying up, even though it's totally dead.